I'm thankful for Dr. King. Um, and he was a person of self-determination, but willing to give of himself to help others. And I try to live my life in that same footprint, I should say, that I don't do what I'm doing even here, what I do outside of here. I'm always looking to help others. That's what's most important to me. As athletes, they have a different type of drive, and the drive is more to overcome any obstacle. If you're a baseball or a softball player, you strike out 3 times. That fourth time when you go up, are you still going to go with the mindset that you're going to strike out? No, you better go with the mindset that I can hit a home run, and you know how to overcome that obstacle. So our student athletes, they don't know how blessed they are because they'll get through this. They just have to really believe in themselves, and that's what Dr. King did. He believed in himself, helping others, and if they stay positive, believe in themselves, continue to be determined, they can overcome any obstacle that comes forward in their way.
Well, it means everything. I mean, Dr. King is a pioneer, perhaps the pioneer, of the civil rights movement. And as an African-American man, he's made me want to be better, made me want to help in the struggle for equal rights and do whatever I can do to help in that struggle. And as a basketball coach, help teach my young men to be productive members of society, to help them in any struggles that they might have if I can. I may be the longest tenured person here, but we've never dealt with this before, so it's new for me also. My players could tell you I'm a big preacher of mental toughness. It's written on 2 out of the 4 walls in my locker room. The simplest definition of mental toughness for me is we don't concern ourselves with things that we can't control. So go over, through, around, whatever, to continue to make progress and reach your goals.
Hi, I'm Denise Wilburn. I'm the office coordinator in the athletics department. I've been here at Bloomfield for 17 years. First of all, it took me 21 years to accomplish that educational goal of mine. I knew I had dreams that I wanted to continue to get my education, but I always felt that I couldn't do it. But Dr. Martin Luther King gave us that determination, that strive to go after what you want. Never give up. You can do it if you try hard enough. First of all, you have to be very positive to our students, to anyone, period. But you have to uplift them. You have to let them know that whatever they want to do, they can do it. They just have to work hard. It's not going to be an easy road. Anything that you want is going to take a lot of work. So you have to let them know that they can do it. You have to let them know that you'll be there to support them if they need you. And you have to just give them the confidence to go after whatever they want to do in life.
So my name is Fred Jimenez. I'm an athletic trainer here at Bloomfield College, and this is the beginning of my 2nd year. Growing up in Mexico until I was 6 years old, I had a pretty good mix, food and customs. I went to Immaculate Conception High School in Montclair, and MLK Day was pretty big there. We had a decent amount of education, and I think his message of hope was something that a Catholic school taught about. Having some strong connections with that, just everyday life can be very difficult. Everyone goes through different types of adversity, and having a message of hope is very comforting. Especially in today's political climate, a message of hope, a message of speaking out against injustice is very important. The political climate and the pandemic is very, very stressful for a lot of people, and can bring them down and make them feel depressed or make them feel anxious. And I think that message of hope, that message of staying true to yourself too, I think that can help someone get through the day, or at least make their day a little bit easier.
When you think about people like that, you know what they stood for, how they sacrificed their own lives for us to be able to do and have the norms, you know, that we feel other people have that we didn't have. You know, it definitely matures you in a way where you want to stand up and do what's right. You want to have a voice, and then you want to be, of course, respectful and peaceful at it, because, you know, the whole nonviolence, you know, that's what he stood for. It's like we need to make a statement without having to fight for it and argue for it. Our kids, I feel, are definitely a lot more privileged. It's a lot easier for them, and sometimes they can get lost in that. You know, and my thing is to kind of always bring them back. It's not everybody. You still got kids who struggle. They come from families that's really struggling. It seems like it's way back then. But I get them to try to get them to appreciate each other for who they are, appreciate what you have, you know, understand what somebody else might not have, and just be compassionate in that. This whole fallback is an eye-opener for a lot of people. And I think, you know, they're pretty mature. You know, we talk about those things, you try to be consistent with that. So don't lose sight of it. You know, appreciate what you have, appreciate each other, appreciate what opportunities are in front of you, and try to do your best with that.
The quote that I always remember since I was a kid was Dr. King had said that he wanted hope one day that his children would be viewed not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. If we're striving for that, you know, to really show those great characteristics, you know, and show even just inside of our group where we have our team, we have, you know, a little acronym for BEARS, you know, belief, energy, accountable, relentless, selfless. You know, I mean, if we're talking about those 5 things, I mean, Dr. King, you know, said those many times, just like that. So, I mean, those are things that we're striving for. And, you know, yeah, we fall short. We fall short some days, you know, and other days we might exceed those things, but it doesn't mean that we stop striving for it. You know, so that kind of relentlessness is something that, you know, will help us all through.
My name is Jackie Jimenez, and I'm one of the athletic trainers here at Bloomfield. I've been here for about 6 years now, and one of the things that I like working here is the diversity and the small campus, because you get to feel like you are integrated with the community rather than being separated from everyone. From when I was a younger student, when I was like in elementary school, I always was part of a diverse educational community, because the town I lived in was not super small, but not super big, but you knew everyone and not everyone was the same. Sometimes we get caught up in trying to show that we're right or wrong, and that's not really what it's about in this kind of situation. And especially with the pandemic is affecting everyone, but more so our minorities. So it's already a challenging time for people that aren't affected by it, just because of high anxiety and high stress and things just not feeling normal. But then you add in the mix that if you are also a minority dealing with that, you're also worried about things that maybe the average person isn't. The way to fix that is by trying to change things rather than just kind of complaining about them and, you know, not making effective change. Versus Martin Luther King, that wasn't his goal. His goal was to always get active community change, and so we can follow that still now.
Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy affected me in the most, and still continues to affect me in the most positive way. He was a man that was sought after to do good. So when he spoke with vigor about the upcoming and the rising of people of color, yet he spoke for all people. Martin Luther King was a man of vision. And where there's no vision, the people shall perish. Everyone's vision was tainted when the pandemic hit. So you have to look deep down inside for who you are, who you really are, and what you choose to become. I believe if we can just kind of tap into that Martin Luther King spirit of hope, character, trust, and just dedicated to building the right thing the right way, we should never have a bad day. One thing I did notice about Martin during these times that he was going through, what he was going through, he always stayed close to his family. One way or another, he stayed close to those who he loved, and it gave him strength. And I think that's the key.